today, kindred spirits, I wanted to just show you really quick some of the really cool uh, pieces that I got in a recent bag of treasure brought to me by my mentor. These are antique and vintage mail. I talked to my husband about this because I was a little concerned about some of these pieces. I didn't know if it would be okay to share names, especially of some of the pieces that are vintage or from the 1930s. But as I know from experience, my grandfather um, is still living in the same place he has for almost most of his life. And he lives down the street for where he did live before. So I know from experience that yes, somebody can be in the same place for nearly 100 years and want their privacy. So I was a little concerned about that. So some of the pieces that I will show you, I will mention their name, but I'm not going to show their address just because I know for a fact some of these places do still exist. I looked it up, and I don't want to accidentally harm anybody's privacy. That is not what I am about. So some of these pieces I know for sure they're not alive anymore. Some of them are from 1913. So I'm not as concerned about sharing those pieces. But with that said, let me show you some of these treasures, shall I? So let's start with some of the more basic things that aren't as much explanation. I believe this is a calling card or an introduction card. It just has Mrs. Henry P. Stearns on it. So I think that has a calling card. It does have a pin in it, so I'm not sure if maybe that could also have been pinned to something that was going to go to that person. I'm not sure, but it does look kind of like a calling card that I have seen elsewhere. Pardon. Um, this one is again, I'm not sure about if how old this one is, but this one also kind of reads like a calling card or I'm not sure what the term is, but like I have called and you can return the favor on such and such a date. So it just says Mr. and Mrs. Jarvis McLean Johnson will be at home after Monday the 16th of May, 18 Brown Street, Brooklyn, Massachusetts. This place I know for sure it's not the same people living there anymore because it was just renovated and modernized, much to my displeasure. I am a stickler for um, antique houses, and I don't like when they get painted all white. It's makes me sad. But yeah, it's not the same people anymore, so I'm okay saying where it is, and it's a very cute little brown stone house. So it's Brookline, Massachusetts, is that one, and I think it's another calling card. I will have pictures of all of these in the video for you to see more up closely. So this one is, I'm not sure when it's from. There's some conflicting information on it, or rather, maybe I don't want to believe it because I don't want to seem foolish. But it says Mr. and Mrs. F. M. Green at home Wednesday afternoon, October 12th, and then it says under that 1864. By all appearances, it's actually from 1864, but I don't know that for sure. That's why I'm a little hesitant to say this is from the 1860s. But that is what it says. And then it says a ceremony at 3 o'clock. So I'm not sure if this is yeah, I'm not sure what kind of ceremony it would be for. I'm not familiar enough with how weddings were conducted or what other kind of ceremonies were at the time would have had these kind of invitations. So, but yeah, it's very fancy. You can see in very small little letters, numbers rather, 1864. So there was that one. All of this, by the way, had ribbon wrapped around them, so I'm not sure why. Um, and a lot of these come from the same family. Some of these the next ones all come from the same family. So this one is from 1913. It is from Rome. The postage from Rome was 10 cents, which makes me want to cry. And it is a postcard wishing aunt and uncle a Merry, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and to bring much love to you and the children. Yours affectionately, Faith. So there's the back. And then the front of it is actually has some of the gold has faded a little bit, but it actually has like shimmery gold, almost like it's been hand painted. It's very, very pretty. And it has like a little nativity scene on it. Very, very pretty. And the next two are actually pieces of ads, not pieces of ads, but actual like ads that were mailed to this individual. These are the ones that are from 1930s, so I'm not going to share the address side of them. I will say though, the postage on these are 1 cent, which is just wow. This one is for Horsfall's Women's Shop. It says, "It is our good fortune to present at the height of the social season Miss Regina Cobbler, one of New York's leading designers. Assisted by several models from her establishment, she will exhibit her latest creations in afternoon and evening gowns. It will interest all women who wish the ultra fashionable in the gowns to know that orders will be received for any of the models shown. The remarkable feature will be the comparatively small prices, many of which are below ordinary costs of material. On display December the 28th. I like how they phrase that. The extraordinary feature of which will be comparatively small prices. It's not how we word things anymore, but I like that wording. And then it has this really beautiful art of this woman in a very slinky, like, evening gown. And it looks like she's maybe holding her either an opera coat or an evening robe for going out. There's this one that says, "Dear Madame, the annual private sale for regular patrons will take place on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, December 26th, 27th, and 28th. Here's the opportunity to obtain beautiful clothes at the lowest prices of the season. Dresses, coats, and suits at or below costs. Purchases will be billed February 1st to the Louise shop." And then I have the last two. This one is from 1935. It is a letter wishing these two a Merry Christmas. Yes, it says, "Dear Grace and Babe, a Merry Christmas to you both. I could not go shopping this year, and so could not hunt up the usual Christmas gifts. And so I am sending you these flowers jointly. I hope that you will have a happy day and a full of good cheer. With a great deal of love, always affectionately, Isabel." Miss Isabel. Yes, so there's that one. This really tiny piece of lace. It isn't in super good condition anymore, so we're going to just be taking care of that and making sure it survives a bit longer. But it was actually wrapped around its own bill of purchase, which is so interesting to me. It's never been unwrapped or used. I don't know if there's more yardage to it or not, but it's very interesting that it stayed wrapped around its own bill of sale. If for any reason you are dissatisfied with this merchandise purchased, and return same promptly with this check in as good condition as when purchased, credit or refund will be cheerfully given. G. Fox & Co. And then the reason I know how old this particular piece of lace is because very helpfully it has its exact sell date, which is September 29th, 1913, which is very helpful. And it looks like it might have been sold for, I can't tell if it's shorthand for 50 cents or it just says 5, so it might be shorthand for 50 cents or 5 cents, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's very interesting to have its exact bill of sale. It's very, very cool. So yeah, so this is the really cool pieces of mail that I got in that box of treasure, and I just wanted to show those to you because I find old mail like that, especially old advertisements, and I love calling cards as well. Um, so I just wanted to share those with you because they make me happy, and I'm hoping that maybe you enjoyed it too. So, bye.